Hey!
Hello!
Great claps. We're just clapping around. It's great. Welcome to episode 25.
Yeah. Wow. A quarter.
Huh?
Quarter of 100.
Yeah.
Not that there's 100
If this
presidents.
podcast was a person, they could drink in the States.
For 4 years now. Yeah.
This is true.
If this podcast was a person, they'd be having a quarter life crisis.
Oh. I don't know if I've ever had a quarter life crisis.
Oh, I'm definitely past my midlife.
Oh,
Yes.
that's really sad. You're not gonna go that far, right?
If I had a crisis now, it would be a midlife crisis.
That's awesome. No, I don't know. Maybe I've just blacked it out. I've definitely established. I think I have a goldfish memory now.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's then you might be having a midlife crisis too.
maybe. I mean, I do remember that mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell that will never
It's a
leave my
staple,
brain.
yeah. Did I ever tell you about my rap I did in high school? No, sorry, it was grade 7.
Okay.
I had-
So middle school.
I had to do a rap about the cell.
About the cell.
Yep.
Wow.
That's one thing I remember.
We had to rap about the boreal forest.
The boreal forest?
Yeah, there was like a project we had to do with the boreal forest.
Is that like
and,
the one of the regions of Canada?
I think so. Yeah.
Like this,
yeah.
like
It was
Sudbury.
like saving it. Well, I don't know about Sudbury.
No, like the what's it called? See, look how much we've learned. What's it called?
know.
The
That's
area that we might live in theory? It's like a belt or something.
There's the green belt.
Green? No, it's like because where all the minerals are.
Yeah.
All right, I'm
I guess
asking
it is.
ChatGPT.
Yeah. That's the boreal forest. So basically, the boreal forests are defined as a forest growing in the high latitude environment where freezing temperatures occur to 6 to 8 months, in which trees are capable of reaching a minimum height of 5 meters and a canopy of 10%. So it's like basically our northern forest areas.
Mm-hmm.
And like the creatures that inhabit it.
All right.
It's not just in Canada. It's also in Russia and stuff like that.
All right, you've given us plenty of context. Now hit us with beat.
Oh well, it wasn't. I didn't do the rap. We as a class we did it.
Yeah. So you don't?
I don't remember it. I don't remember it. No. But I know
thought you just
that
said
my
you remembered it.
classmate. No. If I did, then that's the goldfish speaking.
Oh,
That wasn't me. That was the demon
right,
inside that said words that didn't make sense.
Yeah, that was just an example of one thing that your goldfish brain can't remember.
Exactly. All I know is
convenient.
mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Yeah, but I had a classmate that ended up submitting it to some sort of
Rap.
website
Mhm.
or the government on Ontario or something, and
rap.com.
they ended up making a video and a rap video about the boreal forest, and then they sent it in. It was on Parks or the Parks website or something like that.
Surely we've talked. I'm not gonna say surely we talked, but did you had to do speeches when you
Yeah.
were in school?
Yeah, I was okay with public speaking. I didn't mind it.
Yeah, but did you have to do did you have to write a speech?
Yeah, I think so. I have a big
What was
memory of it.
what was your subject?
I couldn't tell you.
Goldfish brains.
I do remember doing a book report on a book about pirates.
Mhm.
It was called Blue. It was Blue something. It was a really boring book about a pirate, which is a wild sentence to say. But it follows a kid who I guess is searching for it. It felt ominously like Treasure Planet or or Treasure Island, but it wasn't.
You just did your book report on a Disney movie.
Maybe.
You'll never know. I did my speech on Uri Geller. Do you know who Uri Geller is?
No.
He's a guy who claims to be telekinetic.
Oh.
I believed in telekinesis when I was in grade 7.
Okay, but be honest, you also believe it now.
Oh, not so much. Not as
There's
much as I believed it back then.
Okay.
I used to have a spoon by my bed that I'd try and bend every time before I went to bed.
Because I could see you just staring at a cup. Like you're like lost in thought. Like there's like conversations happening around you, and like in a busy restaurant or busy bar.
Just with my hand to my temple.
Or like your hand like forward, being like willing the glass to come towards you.
Needless to say, I grew up in a place with not a lot to do. So, anyways, William McKinley.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
Tell me what you know about William McKinley.
Well, I know that he was a president, and I know that he has a pretty common name.
William. Oh, good old Bill.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anyone ever called him Bill. One thing, first off the bat, one thing I thought was pretty interesting was, well, it's not interesting, but I find it interesting, is just, they have a picture of him when he's 15, which I think is pretty neat, because it shows you that, just old plebs like William here can get his photo taken now. Probably for a cost of a silver penny.
He kind of looks like a thumb. I think that's because of his high collar.
Yeah, are you looking at the picture right now?
Yeah, I'm looking at his like older photo, like the picture on his like of him.
Oh yeah, with his hand.
President.
Oh yeah.
The collar is really high, so I think, but it still looks like his neck is the same width as the rest of his head, so it's giving thumb.
Yeah, so I said this before, but for the viewers, he looks like the eagle from the Muppets.
Oh yeah.
It's black and white photo, but I can only assume he's blue.
That tracks.
But if you look here at the young picture, if you go on the Wikipedia page, he's got a pretty wild bow tie here at age 15.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I was trying to strangle him. Wow, he looks
kind of handsome.
like a movie star.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the heck?
Kind of a handsome guy when he was young.
What happened?
He got old.
What's crazy is he looks 19. Like, he looks like an adult man and not 15 years old.
Mm-hmm. So he actually, he was, I believe he was the last president from my memory, to fight in the Civil War.
He's the last president to have fought in it?
Yeah, because he was just like a young little boy, like probably when... Not a boy, but he was like a young man, and he actually met Rutherford B. Hayes when he was before both of them were president. He met him through the war, and he became like Rutherford B. Hayes became a bit of a mentor to him.
Interesting.
And through him, he kind of got his start in politics after the war.
I feel like that's a pretty easy thing to do. It feels like government, especially in the States, government and military feel very hand in hand.
Oh yeah, big time. That's really their only.
Yeah.
That's how.
It was a pretty like obvious thing to say, but it just was kind of like, it's not something new for them. It's like been since the beginning. It's always been like that.
Yep. Guns and ships. Yeah. So I don't know. Like most of the stuff. Like they go over his like experience in the war, but it was just kind of like, yeah, they run around, they go here, they shoot people. But he basically fought right up to the end when Grant surrendered.
Crazy.
And then he joined a Freemason lodge in Virginia. And they later named it after him, so I don't know. Wow. I don't think he was a Freemason, though, but they're just like, hey, the president stayed here once.
Hey, president noticed us. Let's name it after him.
So then he got married, and he had a little girl named Catherine.
Aww.
I'm trying to think of the most interesting things here. So if I could sum up his presidency, his go-to like drum that he bang on was tariffs, which I think is kind of boring. What are your thoughts on tariffs, Dutch?
I mean, isn't that a fancy way of saying taxes?
Yeah. Oh yeah, okay. I think like to defend why he had such boring interests. He his family like had I think it was like a steel, some kind of metal, some kind of like some kind of metallic, type of metallic business that really thrived with tariffs. So,
Okay.
he's just
So
like,
it's
well, if it worked for my parents,
got it.
it must work for everyone else.
Gotta keep going. And this is also after that panic that happened, right? Are we still in the panic or?
That's the banking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the where they are kind of now, it's like we're turning into the 1900s. He's the president when the 1900s hit. So we're kind of coming into like in history right now. What kind of is happening is businesses are starting to become very successful.
Right.
Like big business and they're kind of like, especially the Republican Party. They have a lot of sway because they've been presidents for the majority of the last, like, since the Civil War. So they kind of have like a lot of influence and money and a lot of like throughout his presidency, he like the main thing I think of the whole thing. And again, this is gonna sound very boring, but it's just, they're just talking about bimetallism again. Like, should we also have silver or just gold? And like I think I can't remember. I think it was like I think it was J.P. Morgan or see, terrible memory, goldfish brain. Let's see.
Hey, we all got it.
We all got it. Tariffs and bylaws. Okay, let's see here. There was some rich guy. Oh no, it was William Randolph Hearst. So everyone was like, "Hey, gold's the way to go," except for William Randolph Hearst, because he apparently had a silver mine in Africa. So he was very.
So he was pushing.
Yeah,
so
he was very big on
ulterior motives.
Yeah, well, I mean, so I'm sure so did everyone else, right? They just had different. They had a different shiny rock.
Everyone's corrupt.
Yep, and because William Randolph Hearst, of course, owned a big newspaper, he was always like really banging on the silver drum. But everyone else is kind of like, let's just do gold. It's just easier. So that was like, so he urged Congress to pass a law and sign the Gold Standard Act of March 14th, 1900s.
Cool.
Which I'll sum it up as this. The Gold Standard Act was of the United States Congress signed, blah, blah, blah. The act formalized the American gold standard that the Coinage Act of 1873, which demonetized silver and established which demonetized silver had established by default. Okay, that's not a sentence. And before and after the act, silver currency included silver certificates, and the silver dollar circulated at face value as fiat currency, not redeemable for gold. Yeah. So those are the two boring things, which apparently took up most of his presidency. That's what everyone was talking about back then. That was the main concern: tariffs and gold. And then there was two other things that happened. There was a Spanish-American War. During this time, Hawaii, Guam, Puerto Rico, and the Philippines were like run by the Spanish.
Right.
And they kind of had their own revolution. And America was kind of like they supported them, but they didn't really, from what it sounded like, they didn't really get involved as much as just be there after it was done to annex the places.
Right.
They're like,
and I feel like too. I mean, the states have done that before, where they're just like kind of present.
Yeah,
and
they're like vultures.
Air quotation.
They're like vultures hovering over, waiting to pick up the scraps. And then they're like, well, I mean, if we don't annex them, then like Japan will, and then that'll be.
And then that's like then there's territory really close to the states, and then tactically they're like, we don't want them to have.
Yeah. So someone's got to do it right, guys.
Yeah. Better us. We're the less evil guys, right?
And then I guess, like, to my knowledge, it's just stayed like that for ever since, for the last over 100 years, where it's technically American land, but none of the people have the right to vote or even are American.
When did Hawaii become, like, you know, a part of the rest of the states, I guess?
That's a good question. Because I know Guam is, I was listening to a podcast recently where they were talking about Guam and how if China was to, like, do an act of war on America, they'd just bomb Guam. Because technically it's American land, but no one knows what it is. So it could send a message.
All I know is about. Well, wait. I'm gonna ask a question, and this is a safe space.
Of course. We have
Guam and
listeners.
Guantanamo. You're short forming Guantanamo. Correct?
No, Guam. Yeah, see, you don't know what Guam is either.
Got it.
It's okay. We're gonna delve deep into Guam. Guam is an organized, unincorporated territory of the United States in the Micronesia subregion of the Western Pacific Ocean.
And Guantanamo
that's in Cuba.
G-A-N.
Isn't that in Cuba?
And that's in Cuba. That's a naval base. It's a naval base, probably close to Cuba, but I'd have to. I'll look it up on the map. Hey guys, we're discovering things as we go.
Have you ever seen?
Yes, it's in Cuba.
Terrible. Well, not. It's a good movie, but it's a terrible movie about Guantanamo Bay, called Taxi to the Dark Side. Yeah, it's in Cuba.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, after you watch this movie, you'll be like, yeah, we're the bad guys for sure. Absolutely.
I mean, I didn't have any. Just if someone had asked me, I would have said, no, don't do that.
Oh, trust me, we are the worst. And by we, I mean America. Canada, okay. We're not that great.
Specifically, Dutch and Deep Throat.
Spitting some deep throat facts.
Whoa. Sorry, I'm on Google Maps and they made it a globe. Those flat earthers are going to lose their mind.
Oh, can you spin it around?
That's so cool.
Have you ever tried Google Earth in VR? It's so fun.
No.
I
feel like that'd be really distorted.
Sorry?
I feel like wouldn't it be, like, weirdly distorted, or do they do a good job of, like...
No, they do. It's a very good job. Like, it's basically, like, you can go anywhere in the world, and they also, in more, like, populous areas, they render it out in 3D. So, like, if, let's say, for example, we were in the big, a famous city in Canada named Toronto, then all the buildings would be 3D buildings, and you could, like, walk through the streets and be like, hey, there's my old apartment, and there's my other apartment.
Okay, but I'm freaking out because there's no, like, where's the North Pole?
On the map?
Because it has Antarctica at the bottom.
Google.
But, like, on the Google, there's no... But maybe anyways, don't mind me.
Well,
I'm just looking at a globe and losing my mind a little bit.
Launch Earth. Well, I don't think there's actually any land at the very top.
There's not, like, a... There's not? Okay.
No.
Well, there's, like, Greenland, and then there's Svalbard. So I guess that's what I was thinking of.
The North Pole is in Canada.
That's true.
Like, it's just alert, I think.
Right. Alert.
That's for Santa Claus.
The most northern part of the continent and Canada. Though I feel like Greenland goes a little bit up above it, but I guess it just depends on what you consider the top of the orb.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I'm sorry for the five flat earther fans we have are no longer. I feel like I'm going to be on a list now that I Google search Guantanamo Bay.
Oh, you're already on. You're on a list just for using Google.
Oh no.
Do you ever have
Sorry.
you ever heard of geolocating? Like, there's this guy on Twitter named Rainbolt. Okay, this is honestly one of the most insane skills I think I've ever seen in a human being. So there's this guy on Twitter named Rainbolt, and like you can show him like your like sandwich, and you're like, hey,
And he'll
this is
know.
delicious. Yeah, and then he can like locate it anywhere in the world. Like he'll find the restaurant where it is.
That's spooky.
Yeah, and like he
Like with one clip, or is he like going through searching?
like he can do it within an hour. Like I have no idea what he does, but like
That's wild.
he's like, hey, find this. Like someone was like, hey, guess where I am, and they were just like in the woods, like they're on a highway with the woods, and then like within an hour he sent like the location, and you could see that the trees like matched up to Google Maps. And he's like, you're on this highway at this like stop, at this like marker. Yeah,
Spooky.
like he just like he just has like a skill where he can like see where the sun is. He can like see all the like signs and say those are American signs. That's like a Kansas sign, and then he's like, okay, this looks like a highway, and then it's going this direction because the sun, and then he'll like travel down the highway looking for markers, and then he's got it.
Huh. Well,
I'll be. Surely he can turn that into a job somehow.
I mean, I guess if they're looking for like, what's his face?
Osama bin Laden.
Jason Bourne. Oh, or him.
That guy could have found
Awkward.
Osama bin Laden in an hour.
Ooh.
We would never have had
As
to
long
invade
as-
Iraq.
Oh, as long as he had posted a picture of his sandwich, then he would have been able to find him.
Yeah, it's Osama bin Laden eating a sub. Eating Subway.
Okay, so Guam is an island close to,
Like the reason whoa, Guam's on the other side of the world. Yeah,
yeah. It's like
You know
it's
what this
close-
is? This is where they store the nukes. Absolutely, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now I see why they're saying that China's going to bomb Guam. It's basically right beside it. It's like close to Taiwan.
Yep.
And then so that's like what they'd bomb first, and then Americans would be like, they bombed what? Where's that?
Yep. Huh?
Wow, I didn't realize how far all these places were from each other. Like Guam's
know,
on the opposite side of the world of the states.
Uh-huh.
Guess it when you have it.
But
on
I get it, right? Because they
scale like
can.
this.
It's like they hop from Hawaii over there, right? It's like
Yeah, they're like
if this was a video game, you would save in Hawaii and then make
fast track
your
to
trip
Guam.
to
Yeah,
Guam.
so you don't have to walk
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Damn. It's weird when you put the Earth on a sphere. Like it really. I don't know why we don't do this more.
I know, right? Well, because they say too the
Scale.
sorry, we've gone way off.
Oh, that's alright.
But when you put the map on like a flat piece of paper and it's basically like you unwrap the globe, you're technically losing information. You're not getting an actual authentic shape, right? Because you're to do it, you'd have to like really skew the continents. I like this. It gives you a bit more of a context of like where things are attached. My favorite is how close like Russia and Alaska are.
Oh yeah, they're like you could swim that. Well, not you could
It's
canoe
like there's like, well, yeah, you could canoe it.
if you're a good
but it
swimmer.
looks like two little hands reaching for each other.
Yeah, and in a way, like, if you think about it, like, we're kind of neighbors, like Canada and Russia.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
If we all believe in Pangea, we all came from the same continent, but our land masses would have definitely been connected.
All the settlers would have had to do is walk about 100 clicks on frozen ice. Got your whole continent there for yourself. Surely we could play a game with this somehow. Like let's see who can find. Give me a place. Okay, wait. Give me like a famous landmark.
A famous landmark.
Yeah, but ideally not in like Canada.
Okay. I don't remember what it's called. Well, I mean, I can say that there's the Trevi Fountain.
Trevi Fountain. That sounds Italian. Yeah, I'm gonna. I honestly, I have no idea what this is, but I'm gonna find it without searching it.
Okay.
Trevi Fountain.
I hope this is an audible moment.
Oh yeah, I'll describe my.
This is.
All right.
Like when we tried to play that game where it was like the 7 degrees.
Yeah, and then I edited it all out. I'm pretty sure we actually got to a president before that, and I just cut out the part where we got the Kevin Bacon, just because it was never gonna happen. Okay, Trevi Fountain. It's definitely sounds something that would be in Italy. I'm doing Rome. Fountain. Come on, Rainbolt. Oh, I found the Vatican. Can't be far from here.
Which is its own country, which is wild.
True. Is this the fountain in La Dolce Vita?
Here's the thing. I said it. I don't actually know where it is, so I'll just trust you.
Hey, there's a Colosseum.
Let me see something
here. A fountain's very
no, you're
small.
in the right. You're hot. You're in the right
country.
You're in the right country.
Am I in the right town? Rome.
Where are you in Rome? Then yes, you're in the right town.
Alright, it's a big place.
I'll give
I'm
that to
looking
you.
for a fountain. Basilica Papa.
Now, are you on just Google Maps?
Oh, I'm going. Yeah, no, I'm on Google Earth.
Google Earth, so you don't have any labels or anything.
Well, I have like Rome. Oh yeah, should I
but you
do
don't
no
have
labels?
like where it's. Well, I guess because it'll come up if you go near it. I guess you have to be zoomed in.
Okay, I found the stadium where I'm assuming they play soccer. Foro Italico.
I will say I'll give you also the Italian is Fontana di Trevi.
Fontaine. Okay, well, listen. If I know one thing, fountains are near water.
Is one of them?
I'm gonna follow this river. I'm Rainbolt.
Can you give me? I'm actually glad I said that because the other ones are a bit more like the Colosseum and like the Pantheon and all that are.
I found the
pretty
Fontana di Leone.
monuments.
Wait, Fontana della de Roma?
I don't. That's not the Trevi, but.
All right, where is it? I'm googling it. What's it called again?
The Trevi Fountain. Where did you end up? Where was your?
I'm
last
in the
spot?
Basilica de Santa Maria.
Basilica. I think you're going the wrong direction.
Rome's pretty big now when I look at it. Rome's massive.
You're close. You're very close if you're at the that.
I am?
The Basilica. Yeah. Like you're not next door to it, but you're a 15-minute drive from it if you're there.
Okay, well I actually lost my position. All right, I'm googling it. What's it called? Fontana?
The Trevi Fountain or Fonte de Trevi.
Oh my god, I was so close.
It's just you were so
I would
close
never
to
found
it.
that.
Yeah,
That's so. Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
That's the one from the Dolce Vita.
Yeah. That one's the famous one that if you're supposed to throw a coin in there to ensure your return to Italy.
So, yeah, so are you looking at this right now on Google Earth?
I'm on Google Maps.
So you can't see the cool 3D renderings of everything?
No, I mean I can switch it.
No. Take my word for it. All right, that's a fun little game I call Where in the World is the Trevi Fountain?
There are bodies of water. There is that GeoGuessr where it will give you. It'll either it'll drop you to random Google Maps location, and you can move around when if you're the car, the POV from the car when it's driving, and then you have to try and guess where you are, and you get more points the closer you're at.
Oh yeah, that's a
Then
good skill.
There's hard mode where you can't move around. You can just you can't move you can just rotate the camera around.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you get signage, then that helps.
Then that's when you get the big hint. Wow, that's fun. Makes me want to be Italian. In the big boot.
The one I was trying to remember, there's a mermaid statue in Norway, but I couldn't remember what it was called. Or it might have been Denmark, actually, that it's in. But there's like a famous like mermaid, three mermaid or like mermaid statue that's like roughly loosely based off of like Ariel before the Disney movie.
Oh.
Anyways, like we have a president to talk about that we haven't.
Yeah. Okay, so Spanish War, Guam. So Guam, Puerto Rico, Philippines, Hawaii. Following the Spanish-American War, there are acquisitions demanding that these acquisitions expanded American influence and opportunities for trade, projecting the United States as a major player on the global stage. So during the war, McKinley handled the Spanish-American War in 1898 and showcased his leadership abilities and decisiveness on the international stage. There was a explosion in the Havana harbor of Maine and the sinking of a ship, and that became a catalyst for the War of Spain. So I guess that's kind of how they got involved. The USS Maine, not Maine the state, but the USS Maine, the ship. Man, I do have a goldfish brain too. It's a good thing we got ChatGPT. How did we do it before ChatGPT, Dutch? We had to memorize now.
I think we wrote stuff.
Well, I mostly just made stuff up.
Oh, so you lied?
No.
Also, fun fact: my phone's been dictating me this entire time.
Oh, really?
I didn't send anything, but I just looked down and my phone had been writing. But it was also like broken. It wasn't really listening to me that well. Because the words were all mumbo-jumboed, but yeah, that was fun to look at and panic that I had sent it in a group message of me just talking about
sending half
Google
the
Maps
transcript.
and Guam. Oopsies.
Let me take a good look at this. Like, let me look for little gems in his. How are we doing? Halfway through. Okay, so I'll give like a little brief thing. So he was in the war, and then after that he became a rising politician, and he ended up becoming the governor of Ohio.
Oh.
And that's kind of how he became well known enough to become president. Oh yeah, so here's an interesting. Of course, I can't miss this. So his assassination. So in the first term of his presidency, he had a vice president whose name is Garrett Hobart. But in the second term of his presidency, he had a VP who went by the name of Theodore Roosevelt.
Right.
Who you might know.
Yes, because I've been pre-researching.
Oh, really? Wow. No. That's the first time we've ever pre-researched.
Pre-researched. But he's a pretty, I feel like the next notable president. You know what I mean? Like, not that other ones haven't been, but it's like, there's this big, Abraham Lincoln's a tall man.
Isn't he on the Mount Rushmore?
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the last one on Mount Rushmore.
Lincoln cast a long shadow, so it took a while to get the next one to get going.
One thing I don't want to spoil next week, but one thing I do find interesting about Teddy Roosevelt is that they put him as vice president in order to give him a job where he wouldn't have power, his political opponents, let's say, suggested that he become VP so that he wouldn't have any job to do, and then William McKinley was assassinated, and then he became president. William McKinley was assassinated within the first year of his second term.
Interesting.
So for his assassination, this is probably one of the most interesting things, I think. So he was out in public, and he was there. That at the time there was apparently many assassinations. Like assassinations were in at the moment. Apparently by anarchists in Europe, there was a lot of assassinations, and I guess also like World War I started with an assassination. So they were the thing to do back then.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like you're starting to hit, like... well, I feel like all land had been, claimed by some country, right? And so then now it's all these disputes over, what's right, what's wrong, it's mine, power, corrupt, all that jazz.
Yeah. One thing I kind of looked onto. So the guy, I kind of find this interesting because maybe I'll just read these paragraphs just because they're kind of interesting. Although McKinley enjoyed meeting the public, Cortelyou was concerned. I think that was his aide or something. I can't remember. Was concerned with his security because of recent assassinations by anarchists in Europe, such as the assassination of King Uberto of Italy the previous year. Twice he tried to remove the public reception from the president's scheduled visit to the exposition. McKinley refused, and Cortelyou arranged for additional security for the trip. On September 5th, McKinley delivered his address to the fairgrounds before a crowd of 50,000. In his final speech, McKinley earned reciprocity treaties with other nations to assure American manufacturers access to foreign markets. He intended this speech as a keynote to his plans for a second term. A man in the crowd named Leon Kozolgosz hoped to assassinate McKinley. He had managed to get close to the presidential podium, but did not fire, uncertain of hitting his target. After hearing a speech by anarchist Emma Goldman in Cleveland, Kozolgosz had decided to take action that he believed would advance the cause. After his failure to get close enough on September 5th, Kozolgosz waited until the next day in the Temple of Music on the exposition grounds where the president was to meet the public. Kozolgosz concealed his gun.
You're doing great.
Thank you. It's different every time I say it. In a handkerchief, and when he reached the head of the line, shot McKinley twice in the abdomen at close range. So the first one apparently ricocheted off of his jacket, but the other one went in his stomach, and he died later of gangrene. And when everyone was like, "Oh shit, this just shot the president," they all like jumped on Kozolgosz, and then McKinley was like, "Let him down easy, lads." And
as
apparently,
he was like bleeding out.
Yeah, and apparently that like saved his life from the mob, but they later electrocuted him anyway, so it didn't really matter.
Classic. Could you send me that last name? I'd love to read it.
Yeah. Maybe you can pronounce it.
I give no promises, but
Kozolgosz. He was Polish, I think.
Yeah. The Zeds are probably silent.
Kolgosz. Oh wait, Cholgosz.
I think
There's
it's
a pronunciation.
Cholgosz. Oh yeah, it's written right there in parentheses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cholgosz.
Cholgosz. Yeah, I was kind of like interested in. Apparently, like this is the first time I've ever heard of anarchism, and it kind of seemed like a loosely like anything kind of goes back then. Like there wasn't really order. It was just kind of like, hey, kill this person. This will cause anarchy.
So is he only like? He was like 23.
Leon.
Yeah, 24. If my math is correct, because if he was born in 1873.
Yeah, he was 28.
28. Yeah.
When he died.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think like this is probably one of the times in history that I find most interesting, just because I think this is the start of the Industrial Revolution. I think there's always a lot of stuff today that we can just like look back then and be like, oh yeah, nothing has changed. Like this is when people started unionizing. This is when people like started like the world really hasn't changed in the last 100 years. It's always.
I mean, it hasn't. Yeah, it depends on like what lens you're looking at it. But I think too, it's like you now have a generation of people that have been living, well, probably multiple at this point, right? We're at like the 25th president times 4 for the amount
sometimes
of years.
times 8, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes times 8, sometimes only times 1 because they only did
sometimes
6 months.
30 days.
Sometimes 30 days. So you've got like, and I think at the beginning we looked at like how like the expansion of the states where like everyone settled obviously in like New York and Virginia, and then expanded and like, you know, new states came in, and there was the Oregon Trail and people like, you know, still living on farms, still like battling with the elements of like the outdoors and like the Wild West. It's like now you actually have like states and cities and electricity and like pictures being taken, and they've been through a civil war. They're about to go into a world war. Yeah.
Yeah, I've once heard it said that like before World War I started, people were like how could it get better than this?
Yeah.
Like this.
It's definitely the teenage years of a country where it's like, I can never die. Yeah. I'm invincible.
This is the early teens of America.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
We're invincible.
Yeah. And now they're that uncle you don't invite to Christmas.
Yeah. Now it's Sleepy Joe. What? There's something that... Did you hear... It wasn't American politics, but did you hear about the Nazi in Canada?
I did, yep. That was a rough time.
Oh,
and it's just gotten worse because no one's like really taking responsibility for it except for the Speaker of the House. But then it's like, okay, they're blaming him for not vetting it, but then it's like, you are the government. Why does he have that much autonomy to be able to just make that decision? That should be fact-checked by other people as well.
Yeah, definitely a scapegoat situation for sure.
And the president of Ukraine was present as well, which is also a whole other like aspect to it.
There is a lot of Nazis in Ukraine, though.
That's true. But, you know, currently a current like war-torn country being oppressed.
Yeah, even Nazis don't want Russia to take over. Yeah, wild.
Yeah, it's a wild time.
What a circus.
Yep. And then we got convoys starting up again and people going on marches.
Oh, really? What for?
I honestly, I couldn't tell you, but it's a similar sense of like they don't want, you know,
to be vaccinated.
They don't believe, not vaccinated. It's
they
like
don't believe in Guam.
LGBTQ, like they're against LGBTQ, like in classrooms and.
Oh yeah. Well.
Yes. So they're like they're abstaining from like taking their kids to school until it's changed, and they're going on strikes. Now the march they wanted to go on got shut down. So. But they're still. It's all on Facebook. It's just rampant through Facebook.
Oh, yeah, I don't have Facebook. I find there's a lot of that going around. Like people just don't trust schools anymore, so they all just keep their kids at home.
But I mean, if the bad people want to keep their kids at home, okay.
Yeah, but then they get dumber.
That's true.
Then their kids get dumb.
Yeah, well, you know.
Or maybe
we're just on a
maybe they're smart. Maybe they're smart people and they teach their kids well. I don't know. But.
Well, you know, it's breaking the cycle, right? Sometimes it takes others, sometimes it takes yourself.
Yeah.
That's my fact of life today.
And let's be honest, your kids are gonna be learning from AIs in the future, anyways.
And you know what? We're just on a rocketing through space. We're just on a rock.
We're on a big blue rock.
Yeah.
Do you think what do you think education will look like in the future? Because like let's be honest, you can already learn anything you want for free on the internet.
It's true. I mean, I do think it will be. I mean, I hope. Here's the thing. I know you can learn anything on the internet, but I think there is a huge advantage to getting taught by someone who's very passionate about what they're teaching.
We'll just tell ChatGPT to be more passionate. Say, turn up the temperature.
Yeah, but there's still a human aspect that, like, I mean, it depends on what kind of learner you are, right? So it's like, if you're someone who can learn that way, then it works, right? But not everybody can. And I remember being in high school and having, like, I think we all had that English teacher when we were in high school who hated their life and just, like, took it out on you. And I remember taking a, like, English literature class because I was like, I have a bonus credit to use. I've had cousins say it's a good class. I'll take it. And this teacher, he fucking loved books.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, we read, like, 1984, we read Lord of the Rings, and every book we read, he loved. And he'd read, like, back to cover and gave us all of this background on it. So it was interesting, and I wanted to learn more, because I was like, oh, this guy's excited about it. I want to learn more about this. Not the crotchety teacher that whacks his ruler on the desk when people fall asleep in his class.
Yeah. But would you pay $100,000 of and go into debt for it though, or would you?
Well, this was high school.
Download.
I
would you just download a free model off there?
Well, I mean, it depends on how the government is treating education, right? Like, if it's a high school education, you don't technically the taxes pay for it. I don't pay for it. If you're talking about college and like higher education,
yeah, that's mostly what I was talking about.
Yeah, okay. If it's a higher education, I'm on the fence, right? Because I'm a firm believer of if you want to go and, you know, work just a normal either 9-to-5 job or whatever, there's no point in going to college because you can learn anywhere you want. But if you're someone who wants to go into theory or like sciences or like extreme physics,
you can learn that all from an AI now.
True, that's true. I mean, I think, but there's a degree part of it, right? It's like, yeah, you can learn it, but it has to be proven.
But that's just a piece of paper. That's a very expensive piece of paper.
This is true, but that's what I'm saying is that's only like 5. I think only 5% of people really want to do that. So there's no point.
I don't know. I think that people don't realize yet that the world has changed. People don't trust schools. The information
but
is there for free.
You could say that about like, you know, like this is our a financial panic. It's an AI panic now.
Mm-hmm.
People aren't ready to accept the new ways of doing things. And I think we also have a generation that we need to let, you know, slip into the cold night of death that keep making decisions for us that we don't want.
I think I know the one you're talking about.
Where it's like you're getting pissed off about legislation that you're not going to be alive to experience. Let us just live our life, and you guys just go into the farm.
Come on, Mitch, retire.
Yeah. Just retire. Just get out of here.
Find some.
The amount of times I have surprised a boomer with just Excel, but like, how do you know how to do this? I'm like, I just fucking Googled it, bro. Like, this isn't anything. Like, I just read it.
It blows my mind how, like, I feel like I live in a different world than like other people. Just like the things that I know. People won't know for 10 years.
Yeah. And
some people will never know because they'll be dead.
That's such we're getting into some existential. Yeah, everyone's world is their own world, and you are the master of your own destiny. And I don't mean that in like a big way, but it's like if you want to learn something, like you can make it happen. You don't need anybody else.
You just got to read the Wikipedia page.
Just read the Wikipedia page.
And you'll become a master of your
also,
domain.
Also, there's like 10,000 hours to master something, right? Like, if you put your passion into it and do it for 10,000 hours, you will be perfect at it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, also, kind of cool little tidbit, not very good for a podcast, but Thomas Edison recorded a bunch of videos of the inauguration for McKinley. Huh. Yeah, like...
Oh, there's a voice note on his Wikipedia did we listen to that? Was that somebody else?
No, that was...
I'm gonna
Rutherford
sneeze.
B. Hayes, maybe? Yeah. No. What was the last one we did? See, there's such a blur now. Bless you.
Excuse me. Sorry, that was too sneezes.
It was Benjamin Harrison. That's who it was.
Benjamin Harris. Well, there is also on William McKinley's Wikipedia, there's a little voice at the very bottom on the right column where it says giving a campaign speech for his first presidential campaign recorded in 1896.
My fellow citizens, recent events have imposed upon the patriotic people of this country a responsibility and a duty greater than that of any since the Civil War. Then it was a struggle to preserve the government of the United States. Now it is a struggle to preserve the financial honor of the government. Our creed embraces an honest dollar, an untarnished national credit, adequate revenues for the uses of the government, protection to labor and industry, preservation of the home market, and reciprocity which will extend our foreign market. Upon this platform we stand and submit its declaration to the sober and considerate judgment of the American people.
Oh, wow. How
Very
nice.
informative. I liked the middle part.
I like the part where you could hear him.
I liked the sound of cheering crowds in the background.
Wow, it's mild. I bet you... Did it say who was recording that? No.
No.
Wow. Credit to the recorder. Excellent.
Wowie wow. Wow. Well, is McKinley your favorite president? Or is it too soon to ask that question?
I think... Okay, listen. Low stakes here, but I think he was a pretty good president. I think he's been my favorite in a while, and for no good reason. He just seemed like a decent guy.
Well, I mean, I think being a basic, doing your job weirdly is above and beyond. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes doing just the bare minimum to just make sure you're covered is a respectable. Oh, let's do the things that happened in history.
Oh yeah.
So we talked
let's
about the
do,
the Spanish. So this. Yeah. So 1898. The April 25th of 1898, United States declared war on Spain.
Wait. What year are you in?
1898.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. My bad.
Yeah, because he was 1897 to 1901.
Yeah. I was looking at the year he was born for some reason.
Got it.
Go ahead.
1899, newsboys in New York went on strike for several weeks.
Newsies.
Significant action related to child labor.
Oh my God, the Newsies. Did you ever watch the Newsies?
No.
Oh, you'd love the Newsies. It's got Christian Bale. He's a newsie. He sings, he dances.
This only goes to 1899.
He seizes the day. Oh, really?
Yeah, with that header. 1 second.
What about the turn of the century? Now is the time to seize the day.
Oh my God, I can't type. What happened in
my old friend.
history?
Oh, actually, Teddy Roosevelt is in the musical Newsies.
Wow.
Oh, maybe he was VP at the time. That would make sense.
1901. Oh, it's the assassination. 1902. Composer and musician Scott Joplin publishes The Entertainer.
Hold on, we're getting into Teddy Roosevelt territory.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I went too far. So the only thing that's going to happen. Kodak introduces the Brownie camera in the 1900s.
Oh, cool. Photography for the masses.
The Commonwealth of Australia is formed when the British Imperial Act of the Commonwealth is put through. Oil discovered at Spindletop Beaumont, marking the start of the Texas oil boom. That happened in 1901.
Very cool.
I
wonder if that's taken around the place. Do you see that new Leonardo DiCaprio movie? Oh,
I did not.
Oh, it looks good. I think we talked about it before. But I think that might be.
Did we? Oh, my bad.
No.
And I'm assuming. Oh, Killers of the Flower Moon?
Yeah. Oh, it looks really good.
What's this? Is it Scorsese?
Yeah.
Yeah. That tracks. Scorsese. Aw, Brendan Fraser's in it. Proud of him.
Did you watch The Whale? We might have talked about it too. It's hard to
no, I haven't. It popped up on some of my feeds. I don't know. I feel like I'm not gonna like it.
I enjoyed it. He was
Did
like,
you? Okay.
Yeah, it. I had a hard time breathing when I watched it, but other than that, it was an enjoyable experience.
Okay.
Cool. So is that all the? I guess anything after that is the next.
Well, the website I usually use it stopped, so I kind of haphazardly found a couple, but that was kind of it.
Tidbits.
There was there's one now that shows me who died and who was born, but nothing
Who was born?
Rox O'Malley, British actor. Robert Bob Marshall, American forester, wilderness activist, and co-founder of the Wilderness Society. Torsten Relf, Swedish operatic tenor.
Don't know any of these. It's as if they were 120 years old.
Queen Victoria's funeral takes place in St. George's Chapel, Windsor Castle, England, in 1901. The first exhibition of Pablo Picasso at age 19 opens in Paris.
Mm-hmm.
The first Nobel Peace Prize is awarded to Red Cross founder Jean-Henri Dunant and peace activist Frederic Passé. Guillermo Marconi sends the first transatlantic radio signal from Poltau in Cornwall to Newfoundland, Canada.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here's something interesting about his wife. So, relatives and friends gathered around the deathbed. The First Lady sobbed over him, saying, "I want to go too. I want to go too." Her husband replied, "We're all going. We are all going. God's will be done, not ours." And the final strength put an arm around her. He may also have sung part of his favorite hymn, although some other accounts may have the First Lady singing softly to him. And then she died not long after him.
Sad.
Yeah, isn't that something?
Well, we did it, folks.
We did it. We wrapped up another. Wait, we gotta get ChatGPT right next to it again, because I just always love.
No. Yeah, they get pretty ridiculous.
All right, here we go. It's coming right up. It's processing.
I also enjoy too. I don't know why, but I feel like it always gives you like a really inspiring sentence.
Yeah,
to
it's
say.
always like keep learning. Okay.
Oh, it didn't break.
I'll
it
say
up
please
into,
try again.
Who says what?
Please try again
Give
with
it
lines for both of us. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Oh, look, it doesn't even look like it's English. We'll see how we do. All right.
Gracias.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of Presidential Portraits, Insights Across Continents. We hope you've enjoyed this deep dive into the lives and legacies of some remarkable U.S. presidents.
Absolutely. As a Dutch co-host, it's been fascinating to learn about the diverse array of leaders who've shaped the United States. Their stories resonate even across the ocean, reminding us of the interconnectedness of history.
We appreciate our listeners, whether you're tuning in from the U.S. or the Netherlands. It's a testament to the enduring appeal of history and its power to bring people together, transcending borders and cultures.
I can't say
Come
the
on,
next one 'cause
read
it's
it.
in
You're Dutch.
No, I'm gonna butcher the language.
Give it your best try.
Bedanke voor het luisteren en we hopen dat je hebt genoten van das aflevering. Vergeet niet je te abonneren, te beoordelen en de podcast te delen. Jullie ondersteuning motiveert ons om des boeiende voort te zetten.
Thank you for joining us today. We'll be back with more fascinating stories and discussions on U.S. presidents. Until then, stay curious and keep exploring the fascinating world of history. Tot zien!
Tot de volgende again, keer. Danke Julen and Tootsie. I'm sorry for anyone who is Dutch that listens to this. I was put up to this.
I'm gonna say let's translate this to see what you just said.
Well, I think it's definitely the last part was.
You could have said something really offensive there.
Hey, I mean,
Says, thank you for listening. We
Yikes.
hope you have enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and share the podcast. Your support motivates us to continue this engaging journey. Wow. Thank you,
Wow.
AI. All right. So long, everyone.
in the future. Okay,
Like,
bye.
subscribe.